So if you were wondering what in the hell that was all about, I didn't have enough clearance here with that flared out to be able to push the foot pedal as far as I need to with the setup we're going with. See, before we came with that riser right through there. That's not quite going to work for what we're doing here. And all I need is a little bit of clearance. Yeah, just flop there. That's what I want you to do. All I need is a little bit of clearance to be able to get that to swing down. Now, what I'm thinking, the problem I had also with this design, with this thing's plenty long enough, but having the foot That'll come down midway to where you can't get a little more extension on your legs. That was kind of a pain in my ass, so we want to do something a little different with that. I'd rather be able to get a little bit closer to full extension on my legs. I think somewhere. Yeah, something like that, I think. Yeah, I think that'll work better. Let's mark that out, see what we get. I just had a pencil here also. I don't know why it smells like two-stroke in here. It's about time we had some of that up here in this wood shop. All you safety folks, I love to play in carbon monoxide. So save your breath, because I need the oxygen right now. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. You guys ready to see low budget, non-fancy, half-assed hackery go? I'm ready for some half-assed hackery. It's not that I'm being lazy, I'm being practical. I'm finding that sometimes I just over-engineer, over-complicate, trying to make things look a little fancier than they need to be. When you're constantly doing that, sometimes you're just doing nothing but wasting a lot of time and energy. Now, folks, hold the laughter until you see it work. But we're going to go slightly above Amish type modern here, which is funny. I've seen a lot of Amish made furniture held together by, you guessed it, deck screws. So I guess we're finally, as I run a screw into my finger like an asshole, finally going to make Amish quality furniture here. How about that? Let's just see what happens here. All the purists are just rolling over right now. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he's using screws to hold that together. Guarantee you there's somebody right now, as they're watching this right now, getting on that keyboard and just hammering those keys for everything they're worth. I said sometimes simple and dumb looking sometimes works better than anything out there. Let's get us a foot pedal. Ah, there's a foot pedal right there on the floor. Like I said, I know this will irritate some of the purists. Sometimes you just need stuff that works. Not that the old-fashioned way doesn't work, but my time is limited, folks. So sometimes I don't have time to screw around with... Sometimes I don't have time to screw around with super fancy. Sometimes we just have to get it done. That's kind of one of those moments right now. Plus, I just kind of want to see if this is going to work better. It's not like this isn't something we can't. It's not like this isn't something we can't pull apart real fast and redo if needs be. Alright, let's test it out, see what happens, see how this works. So let's try it on a nice piece of hard, dry cherry that's nice and dry, because that's the stuff that's the absolute hardest to work with. Oh yeah, a little different. And get a little more pressure on it. A lot more pressure. Look at that, getting blood on my brand new draw knife. Not too bad. Let's see how it holds something else. Let's try the other side of it also. Yeah, let's yank a pointed spear towards my gut. Oh, let's try it on something a little bigger. That's a lot better, folks. I might even, I mean this is pretty, let's see how it works at 1 foot holding it. Love when you can do that with a draw knife, just slowly. And this is some really dry pine. And dry pine is actually pretty hard to work with if you chiseling and running a draw knife. I don't know why I'm still doing this. I know I've proven my point, but I just like doing this. Beautiful. We're actually shaving down across the growth ring at this point. And she just slices. Well, you know, up until a few days ago, this floor up here was spotlessly swept up. Didn't have any sawdust, no wood chips, none of that. And I'll tell you what, just didn't feel right. It's so nice to smell the wood chips and the sawdust and the pine shavings and pour my coffee. It's like 11 o'clock at night here and I'm still slugging down coffee. No wonder I shake like a leaf half the day, you know, all that caffeine. So anyway, I know this is not fancy. I know this isn't Better Homes and Gardens or Instagram quality design here, but the results kind of speak for themselves. Sometimes you don't have to go crazy fancy to get something to work for you. But the beauty of it is, if I want to redo this, it's not a big deal. It's 4 screws and 2 wooden pegs. Out she comes. Not a big deal at all. I kind of wanted to see, this took me 15, 20 minutes to build this or to redo this. I'd say it was kind of worth the time, especially if it works. Now, that little piece of cherry, yes, this did slide out some on us when we were trying it, but you got to remember this stuff's super dry, so it's pretty hard. And it's small. The smaller some stuff is, the harder it is to hold on there. But I went with, I have hardwood I could have used for this, but I decided to try to go with the pine instead because I got a feeling that it will bite into certain, I think it'll bite in a little better, or at least that pine will, the material, whatever you're drawing out, hopefully will bite against the pine itself. And I think that might be a little bit better for what we're doing. So we're still getting our tooling up and ready for the next framing project. The weather's not quite where I want it to be yet to start going out and hewing timbers, but I have them out there. They're on the ground, ready to go. You just have to trim them down, the size and all that good stuff, then we can start hewing them out. Now, we're kind of getting, what we're kind of covering here is pretty much everything you're going to need to build a little cabin or something if you're going to go do it, you know, go hand hew it, things like that. So I'm going to have all the tools ready, and I tell you, one of the most indispensable tools, these draw knives, whether it's one of these or something you found at an antique store or yard sale, draw knives are one of your best friends in any type of timber and log building project. They're just so useful for so many things. It's crazy how many times you actually have to shave stuff down to make something fit, or if you're doing your pegs, things like that. It's one of those tools you may not think of right off the bat when you think of building a timber frame or a log cabin or something like that, but they are one of the tools that you will use, I'd say, almost daily when you're doing a project like this. And they're very handy. You got to figure, for a long time, your old colonial woodworkers and things like that, your homesteaders, your true homesteaders, your true pioneers, they wouldn't have much more than a couple of axes and a draw knife and some hatchets and maybe a crosscut saw if they were lucky. And they'd hack their lives out of the wilderness with those tools. Absolutely amazing. Here in the modern world, we're just not used to that kind of work. We don't do it because we don't have to do it, and I don't either, but I want to give it a shot, want to try it out. Of course, I'll have my modern amenities like my chainsaw, definitely, which we're going to be rebuilding 2 of those here pretty quick, probably in the next few videos. My buddy Jimmy will be real happy about that, but those are also part of the tools necessary for us to tool up to go back in the woods, yada, yada, yada. Look at that, I poured this coffee and didn't even drink it. But I tell you what, the remains of that old setup on the shaving horse, that's keeping me nice and warm. Look at that. Nice fire in there tonight. It's cold out. I think it's 15 degrees. The wind's going pretty good here. Nice to be in here and be warm. So anyway, enough of my yakking at you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We're going to keep going after it. And probably only going to be 1 or 2 videos a week here for a little while. But once the weather gets better, we can get outside where it's a lot more fun to be, we will definitely be getting more videos out again. So have a good one, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one.